remarkably funny. And I know it was a terrible thing, but I can't believe those words actually left his mouth.
Yo, he really
trial by combat, like it's Game of Thrones. You know, like,
he really believed all that shit. Like, I don't think he believes any of that. He's just a lawyer trying to make money.
Yeah.
And
but
then,
I mean, there's other ways to make money. Do you think that he doesn't believe any of it?
I don't think he believes any of it.
Hmm.
And because he was getting paid $20,000 a week or so.
Oh wow!
But now here's the sad part. Unfortunately, Trump isn't paying him, so that kind of like that hurt him, you know. But
Trump can't pay him. You said?
Yeah, they said Trump isn't paying him, so he's not getting his fees. So he
Trump lied to somebody?
Oh,
what?
Yeah, I wouldn't believe that.
Not my 45th. Not my 45th.
So it's just amazing, like how I don't know. You know what? This is the conspirator in me. I would like to think. I believe that Trump has a dossier on all these people. All right.
Okay.
Because beforehand, all these people hated Trump. I'm talking about Lindsey Graham, right? The Chris Christie. These people were like saying that this is the coming of the devil, right? And then all of a sudden they're just like, yeah, Trump is the man. Trump, Trump this, Trump that. And it's just like, what happened here? What does
Trump empowered the base like no other candidate has done for the Republican Party since like Reagan. You know what I mean? Like people were excited. He's very charismatic. People were excited to go vote for him. Yeah. Even though he lost the popular vote, he still had a lot of people who were willing to vote for him. And I think even though he lost his past election, right, by 7 million or 7+ million votes, I don't have the data, but I believe a large portion of people who voted Biden voted against Trump as opposed to saying, I'm with Biden. Yeah. They were just like, this guy is crazy. Whereas Trump's voters were saying, this is Jesus, guys. Can't you tell? And so they're his disciples and they are willing to die for him,
Like a few of those people at the Capitol who lost their lives for no reason. Although I think these people too, honestly, I kind of think, with exception to the officer who died, I think these people already hated their life and were ready to just end it. I think this is just suicide by cop, in my opinion. Because a lot of these people don't have nothing to live for.
Well, that's the interest, because this is the information that like shell-shocked me that I think I learned maybe this week, which is that, many of them are, these impoverished, rural area individuals. But many of them are just middle class and upper middle class individuals. I think what happened was we saw live on television a cult indoctrination. You know what I mean? Like I truly believe, because you see the guy who took the I forget, like the podium, and he's like waving at the camera.
Mm-hmm.
His wife is a doctor. He has 5 or like 3 or 5 kids, and he got legal defense from one of the best lawyers in the country. This guy is well off. So I would assume you have family, you have a wife who's willing to pay for such defense. I would assume you would be somewhat content. I can't comment on how content someone is, just based on money, but I would assume you'd have something to live for, at least. And then, when faced with prison time, a lot of these individuals aren't, declaring, loyalty. They're saying that, they were, like we've been talking about, misdirected by the leader. Trump told us to do it, and so we're just following orders. You know what I mean? And so why would you be so fearful? You know what I mean? You would say, kill me in front of the world so they can, make me a martyr. I would think that, but instead you have, they would be seen as competent and content people, but I just think that they are, they've become fanatics to this conspiracy that has been propagated by, Trump and his enablers. And so they're thinking they're nationalists and they're doing the right thing, which to me, this is indoctrination, to this cult that is Trump, right?
Yeah, it's pure cult psychology. Just how, like, you have people who are very intelligent and they joined the Heaven's Gates years ago.
Yeah.
And then they really, like, people who oh my gosh, people who had like real great jobs, highly educated, really thought that a spaceship would come through, and all they had to do was kill themselves for them to.
I'm sad. I'm mad at me for laughing at that, but come on, guys.
Come on, like seriously, like there comes a point where you got to look at history and be like, okay, what I'm doing is very freaking stupid. Okay, look, in 2003, I told myself, okay, you're not a gangster. Don't buy G Unit clothing. Like, I know I'm not gangster. Just stop it. Shoot.
He did his thing though.
Curtis Jackson.
I have lots of those jeans, but
Do you have any G Unit sneakers in your closet?
Not anymore, man. The dream died.
Be caught with
unfortunately. Yeah. Still a 50 fan though. Still a 50 fan. Still a big fan Lloyd Banks. But it's more quiet now. You know what I mean? It's not as loud as I was before. But
they were all
the clinical side of me always goes to the point of, between the Gate people and, the Trump people, who there's this larger cause, right, that is being put out, right? You're doing this for a greater cause. Like, it's not a tangible one. It's just a greater one, and so you're doing it for this purpose. And, no matter what happens to you, you will forever be validated and valued by society or your society for doing this thing, and then insert the ludicrous action. You know what I mean?
And now they're being made fun of. Did you see?
They're being made fun of.
Yeah, because
history's not going to see them nicely.
Yeah. Oh, definitely not. Because now there's like videos on like TikTok and stuff like that showing like all the MAGA people getting like kicked off the planes and crying in the airports.
I saw that.
It's like,
but that's your privilege being like under assault. Yeah. Exactly.
I'm getting treated like. Oh no! The guy, somebody else said, okay, so 2 weeks or a few weeks ago, when the Proud Boys descended upon Washington D.C. and then they started beef with the cops, and then the cops started shooting them with rubber bullets, and arrested one of them. One of the guys was like, "They're treating me like a black person," and he was just started crying. So the same thing happened recently, like 2 days ago, where in the plane, like whatever, the airport, the guy was like, "They're treating me like I'm a brown person." So they know racism exists, and it's comfortable because it's not, none of it happens to them. So now when people see like a white person, they're gonna have to like double back, like they're gonna, if they see a white person walking up, like they're gonna cross the street now, and it's just it's crazy how like the tables have turned now.
Well, you see, that's two major points I have, and it's summed up by what you're saying right now. One is this, we put this kind of this what do you call it, blocker, right? That says that there aren't two Americas, there's one, and you got to stop complaining. No, there are two Americas, right? If you don't know there are two Americas, then congratulations, you're privileged.
Just living. I have this just quick example. I have this this bartender guy I know, and it's like, of how many black people he meets, right? You would think this guy is exposed to so many people, and he has the nerves to say, "No, I don't think there is white privilege. I work hard and it's just like, yeah, okay. let me ask you a question. Are there any black people who don't work in the kitchen in your restaurant? He had nothing to say. Yeah, I'm like, these restaurants, I haven't, like, I'll go to, like, Bell Boulevard, for example, right? I'm like, I was the only black bartender on Bell Boulevard. I asked these owners, like, how come you don't have black, like, people in the front? Oh, we have black people working. Yeah, they work in the kitchen. Now you know what I mean with the whole privilege thing? But they're so in denial. And I'm like...
Because I think privilege gives people a sense of shame. You know what I mean? And, you know, oh, you have this privilege. You know, one, they feel as if you're insulting everything they did work for. And no one's saying that they didn't work for anything. You know, like I was saying earlier, I think, you know, if you're white in America, you just have a predisposition to privilege.
Right.
You know, you have a better chance of landing in a privileged spot because, Lil Wayne is now privileged. He's a privileged individual, and he used his platform to say, you know, ridiculous things. But, you know, he's a privileged American.
Yeah.
So once you enter into this state of privilege, you know, I think it's good to, one, understand you're in this state, and then, you know, to try to, you can't disregard the fact that the other America exists.
Exactly.
And overwhelmingly blacks, browns, you know, individuals, you know, habitat that America, and they are being mistreated by a lot of the, you know, rules and legislations that are being created by this privileged class. And then the other thing that really disgusted me from, you know, when we're talking about the insurrection and hearing, you know, insurrectionists say what you just said when they said, you're treating me like a black person. One is that acknowledgement that there are two Americas and you've just secretly been denying that.
Yep.
And then two, you know, for years and months, all you've been saying is how much you appreciate, you know, police officers, where in reality you appreciate them when they don't, you know, enforce the law on you.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Because I have not seen not one Blue Lives Matter post at all. Nobody said anything about the cop that got killed. I haven't seen none of the Republican people, like the MAGA Republicans, that is, on my timeline say anything about, oh, rest in peace, officer, yada, yada, yada. Nope, not one. No Blue Lives Matter. Nothing. You know, only...
He challenged MAGA.
Yeah. Blue lives only matter, of course, when they're, you know, persecuting people of color.
Which is a very Hitler tactic. And I feel like people, you know, Hitler did that, right? He buddied up with soldiers, right? You know, to have someone to back his fringe rhetoric.
Yes.
Right? So it's the same thing that's going on. And it's sad that people aren't seeing that, you know, when they say that, oh, you know, we love the veterans, we love the police officers. It's like, yeah, everybody does, obviously, but you only love them when they're enforcing your rhetoric.
Exactly. So
it's shameful.
It is shameful. And honestly, this is the angry part of me. I want somebody has to pay, bro. They have to pay. There has to be retribution, man. They can't get away with this, because by getting away with this, they're gonna like giving them like little minor charges such as, you know, destroying property, blah 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 blah. They're gonna like allow these copycats to just do more and more. Now, people need to go to jail, man. And it's a good thing they did it on federal property, because like things will be much tougher, and they're gonna have Kamala Harris to deal with. And Mama Kamala,
she's not a nice person.
I keep saying Kamala. Kamala is the big black dude.
How do you pronounce it? It's Kamala.
Kamala,
right? Kamala.
Yeah, because the whole time, because before I even knew who she was, I was getting spam mail, like, because I don't know, I always like to read these like Democrat stuff, and then so I'm getting a Kamala Harris, like I keep getting posts from Kamala Harris. It's as if she was chosen or something like that, you know. It's as if these other people really didn't have a chance. And you know what? I'm gonna go out and say it. I think human beings, on a certain level,